Yeah, he's got negative 17 yards
in the second
rushing
half.
in the second half. So, Cat defense come to play here in the second half of tonight's ball game.
So set to punt it away is Abingdon from their own 15 is where the punter's at, and it's a nice punt off to the left side. And it'll take a dead bounce at the 40, and they mark it at the 39-yard line with 2:17 to go. And the Bearcats will have a whack at it. One timeout, trailing by 8.
Bearcat crowd getting fired up here. Some folks heading towards the exit already.
I don't believe I'd leave just yet.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, obviously you got to keep the ball in the air. Or do you?
I don't know. We got, Aaron's got the ability to bust open a big one. So does Stevie out on the edge. Aaron's going to be the lone back here as the Cats come out 1st and 10.
3 wide to the right side. Lathrop rolls out right side. Throws underneath to Ratcliffe low, and Ratcliffe, instead of going out of bounds, cuts back up the field.
And
got to
be a little more,
about a half a yard anyway. Wasn't even up the field.
Got to be a little more game aware than that.
Not sure what kind of route that was. It ended up being a net of maybe a yard.
And cost them about 10 seconds. We'll snap it this next time. Clock's going to be down at about 1:45.
Lathrop
Ball
bobbles the snap. Now he'll just have to lob one deep. Throws a perfect spiral down the field, but about 5 yards too far ahead of Torian Buzzell.
Coaching staff of the Cats wanting a pass interference there, but good coverage by Abingdon. He was just running. There were a few body bumps down through there, but no reaching and grabbing. I thought that was good defense by the Falcons. 3rd down. So if you're Abingdon, you know the game's on the line. If you're the Cats, you know you got two more downs to pick up a first down here and try to extend the game a little bit.
1:39 on the clock. Bearcats have one timeout, trailing 14-6 here in the fourth quarter to Abingdon. From their own 35, Lathrop dropping back. He's under pressure. Plenty of time as he looks down the field. Lobs one deep to Hunter Wright. The ball is intercepted by Abingdon, as that will do it.
Jake Crosswhite on the interception for the Falcons. Jamie just underthrew him by about 2 yards.
Carter? Looked like 15.
Who can tell with those numbers?
Oh, is that 13 or 15? I think it's 15, River Carter, that got the pick. And that will ice it here. 1:30 on the clock, and Lathrop is picked off by River Carter. I believe that's right.
Second turnover of the night for the Cats. Well,
plenty of time.
They gave it a run. 1:30 remaining. The Cats do still have one timeout. Probably not enough to force a kill the clock by Abingdon, and they should just be able to go victory formation.
Crowd now flooding out of here. But, this game, you're going to look back at it, and it should have been back-to-back wins for the Bearcats in this series. If things don't work out the way it should, just the way this team played tonight, and it's not the defense's fault. Shotgun formation for Abingdon. Booth will fake the handoff and get out around the edge, lower the shoulder. Nice play there, cut him down with about 3 yards of Stevie Thomas with another tackle, and Bearcats will call a timeout with 1:23 on the clock. Yeah, it's going to be a matter of when they place the ball and when they roll the clock from here on out.
Yep.
And I think one of the biggest things that's hurt us in this game more, we're going to obviously talk in the post-game show, which we hope everyone stays tuned for. After this one, we'll get scores from around the area, and PH is in a battle with Holston, too. Believe it or not, 2 minutes to go, up by just one score. So we'll talk about that game. We'll talk about all the other games. But I think one of the things we're going to talk about more than anything is the lack. We've talked about Will Brown filling in for Austin Davidson. He has 2 interceptions in the ball game. But it's been the difference has been the punt return game. We lost about 20 yards on one of the punts with Thomas back deep, and then he muffed the punt in the first half. You got to think Austin Davidson is returning those positively for about 15 to 20 every time. It's just something that we hadn't had a chance to allude to. So that might be the biggest difference in the game, in that Austin, the most reliable punt returner maybe in the district.
Well, we talked about attrition, and that's been the case. Remember when Marion was up big on Gate City? Here's a score update for you. Marion 36, Gate City 27. Still half of the fourth quarter to play.
They're coming back. There's some interesting things going on tonight in the area. 2nd down and 8. They'll fake the handoff. Booth keeps. Couple of broken tackles by the Cats and a big gain by Booth, and it looks like he's close to the first. He's about a half a yard short.
But by the time they spot it and think things over, that's going to allow the clock to.
Just the sheer length of the play. As it's going to bring up 3rd down and a yard. They haven't reset the
Now the official,
marker.
How is he?
Oh, he's motioning 1st down. Coach Christ they're wondering what in the world.
They need to measure this.
Coach
and then the official's going to go ahead and run the clock. That's
he was a yard short.
Terrible spot. Not even considering a measurement. So the officials are just going to allow Abingdon to
take a knee, and this one will be complete after this snap.
Well, I know Coach Chris is not going to be at all pleased with the officiating in tonight's game, and I don't blame him. That was a resolution we made this year. We're going to be a little bit nicer on the officials, but you got to measure that. It clearly wasn't a 1st down because the ball was spotted on the
to just
30-yard line, and the stick was a yard beyond it. So Abingdon will have to take one more knee here. Coach Christ almost all the way out at the near hash. And he will catch these officials, I'm sure, and give them an earful. And Stevie Thomas going to get a frustration penalty.
Stevie knocking an Abingdon player to his tail there at the last snap of the ball game.
So this will be a 15-yard penalty and force them to snap the ball again. If you're the referee, don't you just wave that off and let the clock expire?
These guys, they like flags. They've kind of kept them with them, throughout the game. So
it's a 5th penalty of the night.
I've never seen a coach out that far on the field for the knee. Coach Chris is up near the far left hash. And
he's got to be frustrated with that lack of a measurement. I'm frustrated.
So the 15-yard penalty after the hit there on the kneel down. But, usually you make some sort of contact, don't you, with them on the kneel down? You don't just stand there.
Yeah, I don't. I disagree with the penalty either.
They won't have to snap that one.
They're going to let the clock roll.
Coach Christ is not even heading to Coach Ambergy. He's heading near the refs. He's going to have something to say to them on their way by, and so is Coach
Sidner's going to be there to try.
Coach Christ now talking to the refs. He hasn't shook hands yet with Coach Ambergy as he's kind of tailing the refs out. And now Coach Ambergy with the handshake, the assistant from last year, getting the win over Coach Chris. 14-6, Abingdon victorious. They move to 5-2 in the district, or 5-2 overall. They're still undefeated in the Mountain District. Virginia High falls to 3-3, 1-0 in the Southwest. And what a game. This was a very winnable game for the Cats. It turned out to be an opportunities missed kind of football game. It looked like Abingdon was going to be the heavy favorite coming in with the way last week went for the Cats, as the refs will kind of skirt their way off the field. I believe I would hurry before Coach Christ gets done shaking the hands with all these Abingdon coaches. Just a tough couple of breaks there for the Bearcats throughout the game. But again, we're still talking about those 2 red zone trips.
Yeah, ultimately, Cats got nobody to blame but themselves. A little bit of questionable officiating at times, but they had the opportunities they needed. The opportunities they asked for, they were there. They just failed to take advantage. Yeah, should have, I'll say it, should have won this game by a couple of scores.
Yeah, played well enough to win it. And Abingdon, best of luck to them the rest of the way. We don't get to face them in the playoffs, 3A team. That's why this game was so big points-wise. Would have been humongous to knock these guys off for the 2nd straight years. That was one of the reasons why we got the host last year in the playoffs, was because of this game last year, knocking off Abingdon by a point a year ago. But we don't get it done this year, lose 14-6. So we got another great game.
It's a strange thing to say in a loss, but you feel pretty good about it. It was a good bounce back from what happened last Friday night at Chilhowie. Team responded pretty well. So they just had their opportunities. Weren't able to take advantage of them, so now 2 out of our last 8 trips into the red zone, and that's going to be a big thing we got to take a look at. Get figured out and get ready before next Thursday night. Short week coming up.
It is short week and a big-time opponent rolling in next week. We got the Cisco Group Insurance post-game show coming up next. as we'll take a break here and head to the post game. 14-6 final. Abingdon gets the win. When you come back, don't miss the post game show. We have a lot to go through. We're going to name our player of the game, go through some of the big moments of the game, and then we're going to talk about scores from around the area. So make sure you stay tuned for the post game report as the Cats fall 14-6 tonight here at home to the Abingdon Falcons. We'll be right back for the post game.
Titans go!
When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely.
Hollywood, here we come!
Road trip! And you know it's super.
To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly.
I know you're feeling. We're finally on the big screen.
Have a seat, my dude.
For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Gotcha. That's a wise move.
It's an upbeat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Bearcat Radio is brought to you by State Line Motors. Visit State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a Shelter Pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org. This message has been brought to you by the Humane Society of the United States, Maddie's Fund, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Virginia High Bearcat football on Spreaker Radio.
Hi, I'm Dustin Lynch. You don't have to listen to country music to know that life can be full of drama. Some of it you just can't control, like your girlfriend running out on you with your best friend. But there's some drama that you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
You just need to take that first step and find free classes near you and start moving towards a brighter future and even your college degree.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Sesco Group Insurance post-game report. Again, for all your auto, home, life, and commercial insurance needs, call Bearcat alumnus Jason Stevens at 276-644-9130, offering the right policy with great rates. Dylan Hutton along with Travis DeBusk and Kevin Corbett on the stats tonight for Bearcat Radio. So we played just the sixth game of the year, and the Cats fall in this one, fall to 3-3 as they get beat 14-6 in a nail-biter against the Abingdon Falcons. Abingdon moves to 5-2 overall. They have a bye week next week. The Cats will come back and play here at home against Graham on a short week. They'll play on Thursday night here at the Gene. Let's go to the game recap now, and first quarter started off with Abingdon getting the ball and getting a first down, then being picked off. Will Brown got an interception, gave the Cats the ball at the Abingdon 41-yard line. Stevie Thomas, or then we'd have to punt. Abingdon will be pinned back inside their own 10, and they would punt. Stevie Thomas dropped the punt, muffed it, and it was picked up by the Falcons. They would score late in the first quarter on an 11-yard touchdown pass from Gabe Booth to River Carter, and they went up 7-0 with the made extra point. Second quarter, after a Bearcat 3-and-out, William Seymour finishes off a long Abingdon drive that was set up by Gabe Booth run for about 25 yards, also a 15-yard penalty on a pass interference. That was with 7:20 to go in the second quarter. Abingdon took a 14-0 lead. And then later, after another Bearcat punt, Will Brown gets his second interception of the first half. Cats could not convert, though, had first down and goal inside the 5-yard line and got turned over on downs. And then Abingdon just killed the clock. We went into halftime with a 14-0 deficit for the Bearcats. So it came out in the third quarter, a turnover on downs with about 6 minutes to go by the Bearcats after being forced to punt on the first